very good reviews actually in the Magic Press, you know. So I sold a lot of them like that. And I finished this book, published it, The Spiritual Stage. It's basically it's my biography or autobiography up to date, and this was kind of very special. So anyway, I had this published. It was self-published, and I thought, well, it was kind of fun writing a book. What can I write a book about next? And then I suddenly remembered I got like about 30 or 40 poems that I'd written in my youth that I'd actually kept on a typewriter. Anyone know what those are? Typewriters? You remember those? Yeah, they were all typed out on the. And it's kind of cool because I think I've still got them, but it's like at that time I had orange wallpaper on my room at the vicarage, and I took the orange wallpaper and it made the cover of my typed book. So I've still got that. It's probably worth, if ever I become famous, it'll probably be worth a lot of money on eBay, that. But it's kind of like, it's got the wallpaper cover, if that makes sense, and all my my poems inside. And I thought, well, maybe I need to just publish my old poems. And then I thought, it's 30 poems, that's not a lot. Maybe I could write a couple more. And that's when the whole thing began. I wrote a couple more, and I wrote a couple more. And then I'd written about 100 poems. And then came the moment when I was out there on Facebook, and let's see if we can find it here. I started a Facebook group called Forest of Song. And the reason I started Forest of Song was really to ask the people about how to self-publish and that. So, and I had a lot of magician friends of mine, and most magicians are not particularly kind of spiritual, but they're quite clever at kind of marketing and stuff like that. And some of them I found were interested in poetry. So Forest of Song was born. It's called Forest of Song. A candle is lit in the Forest of Song as the witches come out in the glen, and the nightingales dance as if in a trance, or watched by the spirits of men. The fairies and elves with the goblins and gnomes all join in the banquet of fun, and a magical spell from a bottomless well causes even the tortoise to run. A lot of Sedona poems. Actually, let's do it like this. Yeah. This one's called Mystic Hills. I wander through the mystic hills, Sedona dust my sandal fills. The trees, they beckon me with song. I know this is where I belong. The birds of wondrous colours talk, the cardinal and then the hawk. The clouds, the wind, the sun and moon all sing their own harmonic tune. It's here, amidst all of nature's chatters, I know that this is all that matters. I'm in the moment, in the now, for all that is, I take my bow. The stage of life is all around, and I'm the actor, homeward bound. My body grounded to the earth, my spirit travels to my birth, and backward leaps through time and space before the start of human race. No mortals there, the silent land, mysterious still, the desert sand. I know this place from long ago, I've sought it out from high and low and lifetimes past, but it's not changed. The red rocks have not rearranged. They now have names like Courthouse, Bell. Their shadows cast a magic spell. Perfect. Island of music. Yes, sir. On the island of music, there rests a grand piano cut out from a tree very old. It stood there for years since the early pioneers arrived there while searching for gold. The piano stands high on a rock by the sea, unmoved by the storms and the gales. The seagulls would cry when the tempest was nigh as it battered the ships and their sails. The piano kept playing with no human in sight. It was louder in wind and in hail. The mood it reflected, the music selected. But here is an islander's tale. It is said that the ghost sitting playing on the stool was a gift from the country of song. He came here to show what the humans don't know, where the notes and the keys all belong. They are deep in our soul and our heart and our mind, and not on the instrument's wood. It is so therapeutic when you hear the music, no longer is this understood. Within us are sounds from a time long ago that sadly we no longer hear. If you open your ears and the music appears, you will welcome a treasure so dear. But maybe this piano is just an illusion reflecting the music inside. There may be no ghost, no rock, or no coast, no island or sailors that died. Could all this be merely a legend or fable, a story made up by a few, or could it be real? Now let me reveal, the island of music is true. I've been there and seen it with my very eyes. I've listened to many a tune. I've gazed up in awe, in frost and in thaw, inspired by the stars and the moon. The piano is constant, but notes always change, just like all the cycles of earth. The source always there to answer each prayer, to guide us through every rebirth. Go strike up the symphony, come follow me, I'll take you to these magic lands. You will see the piano, and then you will know it is played by invisible hands. When you return, tell your friends what you saw on the island surrounded by mist, where a piano so grand plays the tunes in the sand, and the phantom does surely exist. So, if I make a little loop there like that, and I take the end and put the end through like this, by doing that we have tied a knot in a rope. That's an ordinary knot, but to make it into a magic knot, do you know any magic words, young lady?
Abracadabra.
It's very, very creative, that. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Look
Look at that, say abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
And it's now become a magic knot. In fact, it's actually such a magic knot, we can make it like that, you see, into a Christmas candy cane, or maybe it's a barber's pole, but keep watching the white knot, keep watching the white knot, keep watching the white. There it is, going, going, going. Look, it's gone, disappeared forever. Gone, 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 gone. Oh, look at that, it's jumped over there. In fact, you know what? It's such a magic knot. We can take him like that. We can pull it from one end of the rope all the way down there to the other end of the rope, and from the other end of the rope all the way down there to the one end. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, he's such a magical, mystical knot. We can take him like this, up there, over the lights, and catch him over there. But the thing about that knot, he thinks he's a slip knot. His knot is part of the rope. Blow on there, Mr. Bear, would you? There we are. He's the white part. That's the red part. And that's magic. Quick little trick to break up the poetry. You see, my other love, magic. Long before the internet, computers, boats and planes, long before the telephone, the motor car or trains, long before the satellite or rockets flying through space, long before technology that we all now embrace, long before the bicycle, the buses and the trams, long before the horse-drawn cart, the roads or traffic jams, long before the battles, wars, the guns, the arrows, knives, long before world governments did change our simple lives, long before the kings and queens, the castles and the towers, long before the cities, towns, dictators with their powers, long before we did create the compass and the wheel, the light bulb and the printing press, the hammer, nail and steel, long before the birth of Christ or Buddha roamed the land, long before Israel's 12 tribes traversed the desert sand, long before the pyramids or Stonehenge mystery, long before we ever knew our ancient history, long before we lived in caves or on Lemurian shores, long before the mind and brain, the ego with its flaws, long before this human race saw animals and birds, long before the dinosaurs, before the spoken words, long before the snow and ice, the wind and the rainbow, long before the ocean tides or sunset with its glow, long before the trees and streams, the mountains and the hills, long before the tulip, rose, the grass or daffodils, long before the earth and stars.
There was love, there was peace, there was joy, there was God.
The dust of the desert is warm on my feet. Surrounded by nature, I look to the sky. Horizons where heaven and earth choose to meet. The hawk and the eagle connect from on high. The voice of the wind, it is speaking to me. Familiar the sounds from an age long ago, where we understood and our spirits ran free. I listen to music from trees as they blow. Immersed in the moment, connected to earth, the mother is holding me close to her chest. For she never left me, was there at my birth. She gave me the blessings she knew were the best. Far from the concrete and cities of lights, out in the open I breathe the fresh air. Awaiting the wonders of star-studded nights, my feelings are heightened, for I am aware. Strolling down canyons and climbing up rocks, I am at peace in a world gone insane, away from the phone, the computer and clocks, a land of the gods where abundance doth reign. Wildflowers and cacti with juniper's charm join in the dance of this magical land. The faded pictures on the walls I start to rearrange. Behind each painting I behold a different work of art, the hidden masterpieces that connect my soul and heart. The world I knew in lifetimes past once more revealed to me. The ancient wisdom now returns, the glorious age I see. I watch the 2 dimensions switch to 3, then on to 5, transported to another time when all of us did thrive. Connecting to these images, I know we are all one. I reach out to the great beyond, the journey has begun. I'm in the land of long ago, I dance on hills of gold, surrounded by just love and light, my wondrous dreams unfold. Returning to those days of joy before the dawn of fear, I feel a new earth in our sights, exciting times are near. I am awake, and this is real. Ahead I see a door, the corridor is closing in, and all that passed before. I turn the handle open wide, behind me is the throng, my kindred spirits holding hands while breaking into song. Together we all float on through, and on the other side, a magic kingdom welcomes us as into bliss we slide. I've got a little ball here. What colour is this?
That color?
That colour, yeah.
Orange.
Orange, yeah, underline. Look, orange. Is it in my right hand or my left hand?
Right.
Right, but if I put it over there, is it in that hand or is it in that hand? Because I remember I'm a magician, so I could be cheating. Point to which hand you think it's in.
Left.
No, point. No, it's in that one. We'll try it again. I'm going to give you a clue this time. Point to which hand it's in. Point. No, it's in that one. No. We're trying again. Okay, big clue this time. Big clue. Which hand? No, it's in that one. Actually, it's a cheat. It's in that one as well, right? Okay, so, Joy, what's your favourite colour? Do you have a favourite colour?
Green.
Oh, you're going to be difficult. Green. I've never known anyone with a
Or
favourite colour.
purple.
No, green's fine. No, green's fine. Green's fine. Green's perfect. Perfect green. Hang on a minute, Joy. Just a second. Let's see if I've got a green one back here. Yeah, I think we've got a green one here. Okay, perfect. That's a green one. So if I take the green one there, there's a green one there. We're going to put that one over there. We're going to take that one there and that one there. Now, can you open your hands out, please? Hold them between your hands. Squeeze really tightly. Squeeze them really tightly so completely cover the balls. Great. Okay, now keep them close. Now, we're going to have a little guessing game, Joy. Can you guess how many balls are in this hand? Have a guess.
2.
How many in that hand? Don't look.
5.
You want to put money on it?
No.
Not a good idea. No, go like that with your hands. Go like that with your hands. Go like that. Oh, no, like that. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah, give me a nice round of applause. Thank you very much, Taylor. There was a young poet who was quite content. He lived in a hollow where he wrote his rhyme. A genius, a wordsmith, lost somewhere in time. His life, it was simple. He liked it that way. Wild berries he ate and watched rabbits at play. The folk in the village had heard of his fame. Though many were curious, they knew not his name. He was a recluse, far removed from the throng. In a world of material, he did not belong. Preferring to be in his thoughts and his dreams, he wandered up hills and sought solace by streams. One day, while out walking across heather moors, where the mother inspires and the great eagle soars, he saw a young lady, wind sweeping her hair. 'Twas love at first sight for this maiden so fair. Her eyes told a story, her smile would entrance. He took her sweet hand and he asked her to dance. The lovers embraced by the light of the moon, each part of their beings was completely in tune. They spent many days as they laughed while they played. They kissed in the sunshine, made love in the shade. They seemed to be happy in their little world, but one day a great many secrets unfurled. While lying in his arms neath an old cedar tree, she told him that this state could no longer be, for she was a princess, her father a king, and she was betrothed to another with ring. The poet was sad, and the tears they would form. The dark clouds approached, for was coming a storm. The lightning did strike, and the thunder did sound. A noise that was startling caused them to turn round. Above them, on horseback, an old man with crown, good 7 feet tall, he was looking right down. So how did you find us, my father so dear? The princess was trembling with anguish and fear. The king looked severe for a moment or two, and then his frown changed. It was as though he knew that his daughter was happy with this lowly man. It was then that he stated that he had a plan. There is a small house on my castle estate. It has become vacant, so no need to wait. After your wedding, you can move in there, but I have an offer that I believe fair. In return for this gift, I will ask you to write some poems for me I can read every night. For I can be lonely as evenings draw nigh and I look out my window at stars in the sky. And just so you know, your fiancé left you. He realized your love for him was never true. So now it is for you to make a wise choice. Whatever decided, please know I'll rejoice. The couple in love were amazed and in awe. They hugged in the rain which had started to pour. They took up the offer, got married next day. They sowed seeds of magic and were swept away. They lived in their cottage and loved their new life. He wrote many poems and pampered his wife. They moved to the castle when her father died, but somehow they never felt comfy inside. The rooms were so large and it was too ornate. They talked of a different world to create. So one day they left all behind. Then they ran back to his old hollow where it all began. They stayed there forever and lived off the land. Wild berries they ate and they danced in the sand, watched rabbits at play and made love under trees, and he gazed at her hair as it blew in the breeze.
Beautiful.
He sat on a bridge overlooking the river, a visionary lost in the annals of time. A poet, an author, a lover of nature. The ripples on water inspired him to rhyme. Unusual for England, the weather was perfect, a cloud barely visible in the blue sky. The sound of the ducks echoed over the meadow, tranquility here in this month of July. The words came with ease to this writer of verses, a gift he discovered when he was a boy. He gazed at the brushwood, was swept by the current. His pen and his notebook filled him with great joy. Far off in the distance, he could hear the church bells, the ring that for centuries on each hour would chime. For just a few minutes, he entered the dream world, transporting him into the realms of sublime. On waking from slumber, new poems were channeled. The trees seemed to sing in the glistening sunlight. The sycamore, ash, and the tall silver birches, then wind would pick up as a swan took to flight. He now was aware of the ghosts of great writers like Shakespeare and Tennyson, Browning and Keats. They all floated in from another dimension, and here on the bridge they would take up their seats. While seeing their reflections all dancing beneath him, he knew that they had been to this place before, for it was idyllic, a poet's nirvana for writing their works as their spirits would soar. The peaceful surroundings, the beauty absorbing, where elsewhere it seemed that the planet was stressed. This poet was living his dream with the mother, embracing her warmth, for he knew he was blessed. For many long days he returned to this haven to meditate, write in this land with no time. His thoughts were collected, transcribed in a book form. The title created was River of Rhyme.